Hi Leo, welcome to Beauty Soul Tarot. This is going to be a reading for mid mid January 2026. This if you have goodness, I can't talk. If you have Leo in like a placement like the fifth house, this could apply to that placement. That just means that if you have Leo in a certain location, then this can apply. Okay, Leo, what is going on for Leo for the mid-month of January? The Knight of Voices wants to come out, so there's something you're in a hurry about. Seven of Inspiration. There's something that you are trying to light up and trying to fight against. There's something that you're trying to fight against. You're not like fight, but like defend yourself in some way. Okay. You're trying to defend yourself in some kind of way here, Leo. You feel like something isn't fair. You feel like something, yeah, I feel like you feel annoyed. You're like, I'm annoyed. Something feels like it was turned down or ignored in a sort of way. Like, there's 3 cups and there's one that is ignored. Or not ignored, but it's like, it fell over, I think. Let's see. No, she's actually sitting in it, so she doesn't quite realize that she's sitting in the one that was empty. She thought it was empty, or let's see her face. She looks bored, but because it's in reverse, it is empty. It feels like a disappointment. There's some kind of disappointment here, which is frustrating. But then at the same time, things do still remain okay in a sort of way. It feels like you're frustrated because you're trying to defend yourself. Yeah. Like you're like, hello, the Lovers. It feels like there's 2 sides to a story. There's 2 sides to a story. There's like a meeting point. And I feel like this could reverse in a few ways. This could be someone who's coming through kind of like aggressively, like metaphorically speaking, Queen of Materials, like putting their foot down. I also feel like you yourself are putting your foot down and you're just like, it seems so challenging just to get your point across. With the 10 of Inspiration, it seems like you're trying really hard to get something to be understood on your side. And it feels like someone's like, no, in such a unkind way. It seems like they're just kind of like, no, this is how it is. This is what it is. And so in that way, you're like, well, really? There's something about a shower. I don't know what that means. You're like, come on, this is so challenging. The Lovers. It's challenging to understand the other side or understand the other perspective of someone. This could also be about romance. Like this could be an argument that you've gotten into with someone and it feels like It feels like there's a meeting point, but there's a disagreement. Leo. The Nine of Voices. So this is something that's in your unconscious. Unconscious mind. You think about it, but you don't. Something just feels like it's not correct. Yeah. Like you're bored with something. And there's a row. There's like a row of something. I don't know what it is. It feels like you're bored with your items, with where you are. But there is something pleasurable, or there is something like a mirror of some kind. Not a mirror, but it's more like a pleasurable way of, this is confusing for sure. Okay. You're overwhelmed. And there's two sides to this situation. Someone's saying it's a hard left of some kind. It's not the correct door. Leo, the high priestess. Okay. There's something about what you know. This is intuitive. This is your intuition. You're getting stronger somehow. Okay. I know that's not where it goes. Now she's smiling. That's strange. There's someone at the bottom of this card, like smiling. It's the same person. But there's still like a sense of disappointment. Kind of like, oh, they don't get it. They don't get it. I know you saw me explain that the first time, is what I'm hearing. Something about the flower. Yeah, you're just fed up, really, is what it sounds like. Leo. Two of Pentacles. The Three of Materials. Yeah, something about carrying something, being able to carry something, and being in the middle of people who you feel like it's just not understood. Like you feel like you're trying to do a lot by yourself, and I feel like you're trying to have peace even though it's really hard. You're trying to drive your point home, or you are driving it. What else for Leo? The Emperor in reverse. Yeah, you're very upset. You might not be upset, but you're just putting your foot down. There could have been like, this has something to do with healing. What is this card? The Emperor in reverse. Yeah, you're putting your foot down. Like, this is how much I have to do. I'm not doing this. And I understand your perspective, but my perspective is I know how this is going to go, and that's the way it is. Knight of Materials in reverse. So it's like you're putting a halt or a stop to whatever this is. You're like, I'm not going there. There's something that you understand intuitively in the back of your mind, that you would prefer not to deal with. You're just bored. And so changing something in order to protect yourself or just to have wiser decisions for yourself. It feels like I lost the connection for a second. Okay, no, I didn't. So, you're like, this is too much. And this side is not very fun to be on. Okay, we get the point, right? What else? Leo, what is the outcome? The Fool and the Empress in reverse. So you're going to just call it what it is and leave it be. Ace of Inspiration. Yeah, you're not too thrilled about this at all. The Empress. So you're letting be known all the things that you're letting be known, the things that remain under the surface. This deck has a lot of intuitive, like, possibilities with it. You're letting be known what is bothering you, but you're also driving your point home about where you stand. You're very earnest. You're very sure about where you stand. And you know something has been missed. But there's two perspectives. And I feel like you're being very sincere in the way that you're sharing what is beneath the surface. I feel it's like you're like, here, would you like to see? Not anything inappropriate, just what you're trying to express. The Fool is you just going ahead and leaving this as it is. There seems to be something that is under the surface, though, that has to do with other things, like the lines. There's dotted lines on the pictures. And it's like these are lines to the unconscious, to the spiritual, to the ethereal realm that tell you that you're still reaching a place, or there's still a place that is to be reached. and that you will find it. Um, but you're not allowing something to move forward with something, or someone isn't. It has to do with money, finances, business, health. It has to do with material items. So, but you are coming in strong and with no like understanding to agree to disagree is what's happening here. So, Leo, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful and I hope to see you soon. Okay, bye.